this is Kathy here, and welcome so much to my channel, Empty Nesters. You know, what I love about this channel is I don't think I'm ever going to have anything lacking to talk about because I'm actually living this time in my life. I am 55 years old. I have 4 grown children who are mostly out of the nest. I have my youngest one who's still in the nest but will be flying out soon, and then I'll truly have an empty nest. But with that comes some new challenges, some new ways of thinking, differences in relationships with your children and with your spouse, and now a difference in time. I have so much free time and kind of looking at a life of my own and how I want to create it at this point in my life. So we have a lot to talk about on this channel, and I always look forward to meeting with you every week. I will be putting up a new one once a week, usually on Thursdays is when I create them and post them on Facebook. So look for me, and if you like what you see here, go ahead and subscribe to me, and I would love to meet you here on a weekly basis. So today I want to talk about one of the challenges of getting into a new mindset of, you know, what am I going to do now, right? Having an empty nest and more time on your hands gives us more time to either just kind of sit around and pout and feel sorry for ourselves, or figure that we have nothing to do, or we can get to work creating our lives, letting it be an exciting time to explore ourselves and reconnect with some things that maybe we've actually forgotten about because we were so busy taking care of children and household and kids' activities and, you know, all those things involved in raising children and a family. So now that it's kind of quieted down, don't let that scare you. Try to think in a new way of this is an exciting time of creativity and creating something new and fun and bringing joy into your life. And you might ask me, well, Kathy, how do you do that? Because your mind might be so much on the grieving of your children being away and missing them. And what I would challenge you to do is try to focus on yourself for a while. That's what I had to do, is focus on myself. And I've actually used this time to create a journey of my own of kind of cleaning up my life, if you will, and getting rid of negative things that have been there for years for me, and kind of doing that hard work. But with that also comes some real healing, real joy, wholeness, and peace, deep, deep peace in my life that I haven't felt in a really long time. So I'm going to share some things today. They're kind of personal things because I never know how people are going to react or respond to them. But again, I'm at that point in my life where I really don't care what other people think. And all I can do is share from my own personal experience. And you can take what relates to you and just throw the rest away that doesn't. And I hope you'll find some nugget in this channel, in this video, that is helpful to you to get on the right track for this next exciting adventure of life. And we don't have to write it off. It can be a great time. So what I'd like to talk to you about in this video today is going back to your childhood. Now, I talk about this subject for 2 reasons. One, because I have found it to be extremely healing in my life. And 2, if in the raising of children and being a spouse, you feel like you have lost your identity, you have lost who you are, you need to go back and reconnect to those early roots, those, how can I say, kind of uncluttered, unblemished time in life when you were more yourself, I guess, right, as a child. So I want you to go back and maybe make a list, either a mental list or a physical list. What were those things that you did as a child that really brought you joy, that maybe brought you laughter, right? Things that made you feel free, things that made you feel full in your spirit, things that you felt like people didn't judge you on, you just did it, right? So in my childhood, there were many of those things, and I can list some of them if that's helpful. I used to play jacks for hours. I used to do gymnastics in my front yard. I used to ride a bike. I used to play in the woods and build forts. I used to love to climb trees, and I used to love to hang upside down. There are things as a child I wish I had done or wish I had as far as games, but we didn't have them, or I didn't have them very often. So I know I had a wish list as a kid too. This is a great list to make. Like if you had a wish list of something you wish you had, or something you wish you had done or experienced as a kid, but either your parents just didn't have the money, or they were too stingy with money, or their attention was somewhere else, or whatever, make that list too. Because this is about giving those gifts to yourself now. The other list you can make is those things that brought you comfort and security and took away fear. And the reason I bring this up is it's a great time to put those things in your life as well, to nurture yourself, especially during this time of grieving, right? When your kids are away and you're really missing them. Try to surround yourself with those comforts that you used to give yourself when you were a kid. So one of the first things I did on my journey of healing, because I've had to do a lot of emotional healing work in my life, is I went out and I bought myself a teddy bear. And I've told this story, but I haven't told it here. So I will tell this story. When I was younger, I had this teddy bear that I hung on to all the way through college. And when I look back on it, I'm not sure why. Because I was a child of the 60s, was born in 1963, and I'm sure I got this teddy bear when I was really, really young. But he was ugly, okay? He had a gold body with dark brown arms, legs, and a face, and he had no eyes. He must have lost his eyes early on. So there were just these like light color imprints where eyes were supposed to go. And then when his seams started to let go, sawdust started, like, yes, sawdust. I'm telling my age. Sawdust started coming out. That's what he was stuffed with. It tells you how old he was. And he was just ugly. And his fur, okay, if you even want to call it fur, was pretty scratchy and scraggly. He was not a huggable, comfortable bear. And why I held on to him so long, I don't know. I think he just represented all the emotional yuck that I held on for so many years too, right? So I decided to give me the gift of a new teddy bear and start actually sleeping with a teddy bear again. Yes, I'm admitting this on a public channel on YouTube. I sleep with a teddy bear. So it's actually very comforting to me, and something that brings some healing emotionally to me for my inner child, right? So I've decided to give that gift to my inner child. But you can do the same thing, and maybe it's not a teddy bear for you, but go back to those things that comforted you as a child and bring them back into your life. Bring the games you enjoyed back into your life, or some of the things you like to do. Maybe you were a sports person, but you had to give up sports when you had a family. Maybe for you it's education, that you had to put a hold on that, and you may want to go back to that. Um, maybe it was traveling that you wanted to always do and you dreamt of, even as a kid, that you wanted to go to this magical place, but you had to put those dreams on hold. Now is the time to activate that key and get excited about putting those things into your life again. One thing that was very much a part of my identity and completely who I am, like I'm passionate about it, brings me so much joy, but I was in such a fog from raising family that I forgot I had put that on hold in my life. and that is writing. I have actually gone back to writing. I have established my own self-publishing company, and I write my own books now. I am in the middle of two trilogies, actually. So one of them I write spiritual sci-fi, which is kind of cool. And then the newest genre I'm trying on for size right now is like a murder psychological thriller type of trilogy to kind of stretch my wings. But I cannot tell you, I am having so much fun. So think back, get those cobwebs out of your head and think, what is it that used to bring me so much joy that once I got married, had kids, and a family, I really had to give up? And I encourage you to pick it up again, pick it up with a lot of passion, and, don't talk yourself out of it. Trust yourself that that thing within you is still there, and run with it. Have fun, have a ball, put it back into your life. So, this is a reminder to you that you had passions as a child. Even I would even put um, things that are childlike into your life again. So, like if you enjoyed bubbles, very cheap, go out and buy yourself some bubbles and do bubbles. I know my dogs here, I'll show you who is sitting here sleeping beside me. This is Sergeant. I wanted to share Sergeant with you today. But they love bubbles, and you can put bubbles back in your life. For me, my personal favorite, which was something that I don't remember doing much as a kid, and when I was thinking, wow, I really wish I had the opportunity to do that as a kid more, was sticker books. Now, back in my day, back in the 60s and 70s, a sticker book, you literally either had to glue the back or lick the back to get them to stick. Nowadays, wow, they're so fancy and there's so many different kinds. And one of my favorite are the mosaic sticker books, which are actually a lot of fun. So whatever that is, whether it was a fun game, a certain puzzle, a certain kind of sticker book, or playing jacks, or whatever it was, take the opportunity to go get it and put it back into your life and just kind of relive your childhood, because it helps you kind of bring up those feelings again of who you really are, who your identity is, a childlike joy in your life that can jumpstart you into bigger things to bring you even bigger joy and contentment for your life. So, my my encouragement today for you is to go back into your childhood, make those lists, and bring joy into your life and see where it leads you. I bet it may help you know what comes next. Until next week, when I see you again, I wish you many, many blessings.